Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, no one wants to pay more than their fair share of taxes. We'll be talking to a leading tax expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I know a lot of business owners who are pinching their pennies. They're trying to figure out how to save money on coffee and supplies, and they're ignoring the obvious piece. The obvious piece is minimize your tax burden. Someone who knows a lot about that is my next guest, Shalini Kodial. She is the CEO of your own firm. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, I want to start in your childhood, because you were telling me before the show that you've always been fascinated with numbers. You were giving your dad advice as a kid.
Yes, I was. While studying accounting, I would come back home and ask my dad about his finances, and I would create a statement of cash flow for him so that he can make wise investment decisions in future. And that was very, excited for me to see it happening from home. Like, I learned about finances from home.
Yes.
And it was really exciting.
And I love it that you're passing it on to your daughter. You were telling me that your daughter is now, she's getting an allowance and she's got her checklist.
Yes, she has a rule book, and she knows the value of $1. And it's so great to see her, she check mark, all her chores, and she'd be like, where's my dollar? So I really like that, that I'm, educating her about financial literacy. And it's so important. And that's my vision too, as a CPA. I really want to educate young girls and women about financial literacy and make small changes in their, daily activities that can help them save money and make better investment decisions for themselves.
Absolutely. We're going to pull up your website because you're a big success, and I saw that there's testimonials on your website. Have you always been fascinated with numbers and how they work together?
Yes, I was very good in maths, and I would always score well in mathematics, and always wanted to be a CPA.
Sure.
Yeah.
And not all CPAs are strong in taxes, and you have expertise in both, just accounting and tax.
Yes. So after I passed my CPA exam, I wanted to take EA exam as well to make myself aware of different tax scenarios, and that literally helped me understanding both accounting and taxes. Although taxes is covered in CPA exam, but IRS EA is, enroll agent exam is only focused on tax practice. So, which really helped me to have a blend of both.
Okay, you were telling me a story before the show that I want you to share with the audience of a person who almost had a heart attack when he got his tax bill.
Yes, he's an individual taxpayer. He got a tax bill on January 25th of $300K. And he came to me and he was like, Shalini, I don't know what should I do? And he had a deadline of February 1st. And I wanted to help him, and I was like, okay, let me review the documents. I asked him to stay calm, and nothing's gonna happen, because I saw when I was reviewing the tax return, I saw his prior tax practitioner forgot to attach the very important form 8949 with the tax return, and the IRS calculated tax liability on the sale of asset on 1099-S that was reported to IRS, and he got penalties and interest, and he was like, I just don't know how this happened, because I feel like this is the common area where most of the tax preparers are not aware of how to read their own tax returns. And I helped him. I got started. I asked him to provide me the power of attorney. I spoke to IRS, amended the return, filed a paper return with the statement along with the notice, and everything got waived off.
Unbelievable. and you did it.
And he had a sigh of relief.
And you did it in like 5 days, which
Yes.
is incredible.
Yes.
And that speaks to your tenacity and your stick-to-itiveness, that if you have a problem, there's always a solution if you know the tax code.
Yes, that's right. And I feel like I'm in an area where I want to educate, small to medium business owners on tax planning, because I feel like tax strategy isn't hard. It's just the follow-up throughout the year. And just asking questions, doing your due diligence, and being with them throughout the year makes a huge difference at the end of the year. And most of the tax preparers, be it individual or business owners, they come to me at the end of the tax season,
Right.
which is not always the right approach, because you need someone to walk you through it, throughout the year. Like, it's quarterly meetings with them, and I see I've seen a huge success in creating tax plans. Like, before the show, I was talking to you about Augusta rule. Like, one of my clients, conducts a conference in his own residence, but he didn't know that he could have tax-free rental income from his own business.
Wow.
And that was straight $13,000 or $14,000 deduction on the taxes, right? So it was a huge, tax savings.
Amazing. You're very impressive. We've got some video from our library of just tax and accounting, and let's talk about common mistakes. When you're looking at somebody's information for the first time, are there places to look where they're normally giving too much to the government?
Yes. First, when I'm looking at the tax return, I see most of the tax preparers are not strategizing the taxes. Like, sometimes they missed the huge deduction or a credit, and I feel these tax codes are for us, and they're IRS want us to take advantage of the tax codes.
Yes.
and like the deduction. Like, I was looking at a tax return of a business owner who had 5 employees, and he could have taken the small business retirement deduction of $5,000, but I was missed out. And in individual tax return, I see a lot of mistakes in child tax credit or earned income tax credit. Like, there's so many areas that I feel like, I wish, they were educated way before, on that.
So if somebody's watching right now and they just got stuck with a big tax bill, generally, can you go in there, after the fact and say, hey, if we do this, this, and this, it's creative, it's not illegal, you're using the tax code to its fullest, but are you generally able to find a solution to somebody who got stuck with a big tax bill?
Yes, I can amend the last 2 years of tax returns, and there are common mistakes like home office deduction for someone who's having a business from home. He missed out on home office deduction, auto mileage, and an accountable plan for S Corp. They miss out on these areas, and I go in and amend the returns because I know it's legit. There is nothing wrong. They missed out on a huge deduction, which they are eligible for,
Sure.
and nobody guided or educated them on that.
I think you're so impressive. In the little time we have left, if somebody's watching this right now saying, I think I just found my new CPA, what is the process? They reach out to you through the website, and then do you have a Zoom meeting with them or face-to-face?
Yes, so they can reach out to me. They can book an appointment on my website, and then I conduct a one-on-one meeting with them. It could be a virtual meeting too. And then I go over their tax return, and I promise within 45 minutes of reviewing your tax return, I can tell you that you could save 10 to 20 grand right there.
Wow, amazing. We're going to have you back again soon. We're going to end with her website, which is skodial.com. skodialcpa.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.